didn't even know they existed. And the reason I say that, obviously I'd heard of beefsteak tomatoes, but these can be grown in planters, in containers. They don't go 6, 7 feet tall where you have to put them in a cage. And that was the only kind of tomatoes I ever knew. My husband's been growing them for a couple of years, and they're all in these big, huge 7-foot containers, you know? And so the thing that was really got me was that, A, it's easy to grow. You can do it in a small space, in a container. You're gonna get a lot, and you're gonna get them sooner than a lot of tomatoes that we'll harvest out there in the gardens. So let me just bring this in. This was new in March. 25,000 sets have already been ordered this season. You're going to get 6 of these for $27.24. You're going to get 3 in the Mountain Man Red and 3 in the Carolina Gold. And we'll talk about these and how to plant them and what's different about them and even what their tastes are all about. But Devin's going to stay with us, so he moved the hens and the chicks aside and he brought in the beefsteaks.
Yep, that's right. And, you know, we have a lot of awesome plants every single year. For me personally, this is a collection that I'm actually looking forward to growing more than anything else. Normally, I'm not in one location in the summertime, but this year I am. So I cannot wait to get these growing, and I'm going to be growing these beefsteak tomatoes in containers on my patio.
Great.
That is such a great thing to say because, you know, a lot of us, we relish the flavor of a beefsteak tomato. It's juicy, it's flavorful, it's meaty, it's got everything you want. When they're homegrown, the flavor you can't beat it.
Right.
But historically, you know, to grow a beefsteak tomato, you really had to go bring your tiller out, you know, till out the back yard, maybe make a raised bed, whole heck of a lot of work. You had to plant like 10-foot cages to support the growth of those beefsteak tomatoes.
Yeah.
Well, now you don't have to do any of that. Now, if you live in a townhouse, in a condo, you can grow the most flavorful, juicy, sweet tomatoes in a container just like this on your porch, your patio, your driveway, anywhere where you got some nice sun. And you can get beautiful beefsteak tomatoes ready to be picked in about 40 to 50 days. And you're gonna get like a couple dozen from each of the 6 plants that you're receiving. So 100, 150 tomatoes from one collection.
Wow.
That is a bounty.
It is, and then you think about $27.24. Now, tell me about the 2 different varieties, the Mountain Man Red and the California Gold. Carolina.
Yeah,
I keep calling it California Gold. I'm sorry, I'm thinking Gold Rush maybe. But anyway, Carolina Gold, that's a totally different place.
Yep,
Sorry
exactly.
about that.
They're both good gold references, if you ask me. So yeah, so you're gonna get 6 plants. Let me show you what we're actually shipping to you guys. We're shipping you these beautiful plants. Now we have them actually started in this LE pot. You can hardly even see the actual pot itself.
Yeah.
We have eliminated the plastic containers for a few reasons. Number one, these things just adding to the dumps. We don't need to add more trash to the world.
Yeah.
So we've gone with these biodegradable LE pots, which are better for the environment, but also better for the gardener because you just get your pot of soil or in the ground if you want to grow it in the ground, stick it right in, and the container will actually help those roots establish even better than if they were growing in those plastic containers.
Yeah.
So we're shipping you 6 plants. You're gonna get 3 of those Carolina Gold, which are these beautiful golden beefsteaks, and then 3 of those Mountain Men's, those big, juicy 8 to 10 ounce classic red beefsteak tomatoes.
And now, here's another quick question. I love to throw out these questions. And that is, when I get these, let's say I want to do it in 2 containers because maybe I only have a balcony or you know, something like that. Then I should put all the 3 red plants in one pot and the 3 gold plants in another pot. Would 3 in one pot be too much? Too many?
That, you know, I recommend planting them separately.
Okay.
If you have like a large kind of trough kind of container, you definitely could.
Okay.
But if that would have to be maybe like, I don't know, 3-4 feet long.
Yeah.
And I think it would be kind of the easiest to plant the 3 colors together. It would just give you the nicest look. because these plants are actually very beautiful, especially when they are covered in those gorgeous beefsteak tomatoes.
Yeah.
Typically, when you're growing beefsteak tomatoes, you know, if you're starting them from seeds inside your home, it's this big science experiment. It's really kind of challenging, and you got to wait 80, 90, 100, 110 days before you're actually picking your beefsteaks. Well, when you're shopping with us here at Roberta's, you're starting with plants that are going to be producing those big juicy beefsteaks in 40 to 50 days. So you're going to be eating your fresh tomatoes a month before your neighbors.
Yeah.
And
think about
the
that.
incredible, it's really, you know, that would be like, you know, mid-July, you're inviting your neighbors over to come enjoy some fresh beefsteak tomato sandwiches, maybe just a little bit of tomatoes and mayonnaise on some fresh white bread. Nothing could be better. Classic summer treat.
A little bacon and lettuce on it.
Exactly.
Now, I want you to tell me a little bit about Roberta's 2-pound tomato plant fertilizer.
Yeah.
If I would get that, you get a 2-pound bag of tomato fertilizer for $28.43. Should I get this if I'm buying these tomatoes?
Absolutely. If you're buying these tomatoes, or if you're buying any of our other fruiting or vegetable plants this season, you really want to make sure to feed your plants, because if you want them to feed you, you got to feed them first. Now, a bag of this is specially formulated for fruits and veggies. We've even added in some calcium into this, which is going to give your plants the healthiest growth possible. And a bag like this would easily, if you bought maybe like 5 or 6 collections of our tomatoes, this would be more than enough food to feed all of those plants all summer long. Highly recommend it. It's worth the investment, especially when you consider the potential of each one of these plants can produce a couple dozen of these beautiful,
I mean, think about that. You're getting 6 plants, and you multiply that. Even if we go on the conservative side and say 20 tomatoes per plant, that's 120 tomatoes, you know, and you're getting both the red, the Mountain Man red, and the gold. And I'm telling you what, I think that is one of the coolest things, and I ordered it. There you go. Now, the hibiscus is coming up a little bit later. We'll talk about that. The other thing that I want you all to listen to, though, right now, is why marigolds should be planted near your tomato plants. So these are marigolds. They're the 6-piece